For many years, whispers surrounded the private life of Queen Camilla, especially her hidden garage that few had ever seen. Royal watchers speculated endlessly about what might be locked away behind those secure doors. Some imagined rare cars, others thought of priceless antiques, while a few even wondered if it was simply an ordinary storage space. But when her private garage was finally opened, the truth left everyone surprised. Inside was not just a collection of vehicles, but a reflection of Camilla's personality, passions, and the journey she has taken from being one of the most criticized figures in the royal family to becoming a respected queen consort. This discovery was not shocking in the sense of scandal, but in the way it revealed a new side of her, one that blends elegance, practicality, and personal meaning. To understand why her garage captured so much interest, we must first look beyond the walls of Clarence House and Ramel House to discover who Camilla really is. Behind the public role of royal ceremonies and state duties lies a woman with a deep love for animals, a changing sense of style, and a personal approach to life that has shaped her image in unexpected ways. Camilla is often seen in official events standing beside King Charles, representing the monarchy with poise. Yet, behind that polished appearance, she has passions that connect her to ordinary people. One of her strongest commitments has always been her love for animals. She has supported charities like Battersea Dogs and Cats Home, Brook, and MAOS UK for years, not only by lending her name, but by actively participating. She visits shelters, attends fundraising events, and even makes her hobbies useful for charity. A great example of this is her beekeeping. Camilla keeps her own beehives, and the honey produced from them is sold each year, with the money going directly to animal welfare causes. It's a small but meaningful way she turns her private interests into public good. At home, her love for animals is just as clear. She has rescued several dogs, including Beth, Bluebell, and Molly, who have become beloved members of her household. These personal touches show that her care for animals isn't just for the cameras, it's a genuine part of her life. This softer, more relatable side of Camilla often surprises people who only know her from her royal role. In the past, Camilla was harshly criticized for her fashion choices. During the 1990s and early 2000s, the press often placed her on worst-dressed lists, mocking her style as outdated or unflattering. For many years, she was overshadowed by comparisons to Princess Diana, whose fashion sense was admired worldwide. However, over time, Camilla reshaped her image. She began favoring flowing tea dresses, tailored shirt dresses, and softer tones like nude, navy, and white. Her signature round necklines and bold hats soon became recognized as her own style. By 2018, she had turned her image around so successfully that Tatler magazine listed her among Britain's best-dressed people. Accessories also play a big role in her look. She often wears jewelry with sentimental value, like Queen Elizabeth II's diamond star brooch, and she is known for re-wearing her favorite pieces instead of constantly changing them. Even her choice of handbags connects to royal history. For example, she carries the Lady Dior bag, famously linked with Princess Diana. These thoughtful choices create a style that balances personal taste with royal tradition. What once made her a target of criticism now makes her stand out as a respected fashion figure, even appearing in British Vogue. With her public image evolving, curiosity grew about her private life, especially her garage, located partly at Clarence House in London and partly at Ramel House in Wiltshire. Her garages represent two different sides of her world. At Clarence House, her garage reflects her role as Queen Consort. Vehicles there are kept in perfect condition for official duties, with staff ensuring every detail is immaculate before state functions. At Ramel House, her private countryside residence, the garage is more personal. It stores the cars she prefers for relaxed trips, family gatherings, and quiet escapes. Opening her garage was like opening a diary in metal and chrome, each vehicle telling a story about her responsibilities, her heritage, and her personality. Unlike private collectors who fill their garages with dozens of rare cars, Camilla's collection is not about excess. It's about meaning. Her vehicles are chosen for their purpose, their symbolism, and their connection to the royal family. This is why the discovery was described as speechless, because it wasn't about luxury alone, but about how carefully these cars represent her role in both public and private life. Among the vehicles most closely linked to Camilla is the Bentley State Limousine. This extraordinary car was built specifically for Queen Elizabeth II and gifted to her in 2002. Only two of these cars exist in the world, making them incredibly rare. With bulletproof glass, a raised roofline, and wide doors, the car is not just a luxury item but also a fortress on wheels. Today, King Charles and Camilla use it for state occasions and high-profile ceremonies, stepping out of it as symbols of continuity and tradition. Alongside the Bentley, the royal fleet includes Rolls-Royce Phantoms, Bentley Mulsans, and Land Rovers. Each vehicle is carefully chosen depending on the event. The Rolls-Royces and Bentleys represent elegance and heritage, while the Land Rovers reflect the monarchy's long connection with the countryside and the military. but her garage also has lighter moments. On a tour of Cuba in 2019, Camilla and Charles rode in a vintage 1953 MGTD sports car, a far cry from the armored limousines. The image of her smiling in that open-top car under the Caribbean sun showed a rare human side of royalty that delighted the public. These choices remind us that the cars she uses are never random, they always tell a story, while her cars carry deep meaning. Camilla's private life is also filled with simple pleasures. Ramel House, her private estate in Wiltshire, is often described as her sanctuary. Unlike the formal palaces, this countryside home offers her space to relax and be herself. She enjoys gardening, horse riding, and spending quiet evenings with close friends or family. Gardening, in particular, is one of her favorite hobbies. It allows her to escape the pressures of royal life and find peace in nature. Her dogs are also an important part of her daily life, giving her comfort and a sense of normality. These small, personal joys balance the weight of her royal duties. In 2022, she even modernized her household by replacing the traditional ladies-in-waiting with 6 trusted friends known as Queen's Companions. This change showed that she values companionship and trust over outdated traditions. These touches of normal life remind people that behind the crown, Camilla is still someone who finds happiness in the same small things that many of us do. Camilla's rise to the role of Queen Consort is one of the most dramatic transformations in royal history. When her relationship with King Charles first became public, she was viewed with suspicion and often criticized by the media. The shadow of Princess Diana made her acceptance into the royal family even harder. But over time, she worked steadily to build a positive image. She focused on important causes like literacy, animal welfare, and domestic abuse awareness. These efforts earned her respect and gradually shifted public opinion. A major turning point came in 2022, when Queen Elizabeth II herself expressed the wish for Camilla to be known as Queen Consort when Charles became king. This endorsement silenced much of the criticism and cemented her place in the monarchy. Since then, she has stepped into the role with confidence, accompanying the king on state visits, playing a key part in the 2023 coronation, and shaping her own space within the royal household. What was once a controversial relationship has now become a partnership that represents both tradition and change. The mystery of Camilla's garage may have drawn people in, but the story it tells is much bigger. Her vehicles are not just machines. They are symbols of her journey, her duties, and her evolving role in the royal family. From the armored Bentley that represents continuity, to the vintage MG that shows her lighter side, each car reflects a piece of her life. Beyond the garage, her legacy will likely be shaped by her steady influence, her charitable work, and her ability to balance royal tradition with personal authenticity. She has shown that royalty does not always need to be about grandeur, it can also be about grace, resilience, and quiet strength. Her life demonstrates how someone once seen as an outsider can transform into a respected leader at the heart of the monarchy. As people continue to speculate about her private world, one thing is certain: Camilla has already surprised the public before, and she may still have more surprises ahead. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not what was found in her garage, but what chapters of her story remain unwritten. When people imagine a royal garage, they might think of endless rows of luxury cars, all polished to perfection and rarely driven. But Camilla's garage is different. It is not about collecting cars for the sake of showing wealth or status. Instead, each vehicle has a purpose, a story, and a role in the life of the Queen Consort. Some cars are there for state duty, where security and tradition are vital. Others are there for more relaxed, personal moments that connect her to the countryside and her past. This mix of practicality and symbolism makes her garage fascinating. The Bentley State Limousine, for instance, is more than just transportation. It represents the crown itself, a reminder of continuity from Queen Elizabeth II to King Charles and Camilla. Meanwhile, the Land Rovers in her garage show a connection to everyday life and the rugged countryside that the royals have always cherished. Unlike flashy celebrity garages filled with sports cars and exotic imports, Camilla's garage quietly tells her story. It reflects her duty, her balance between public and private roles, and her ability to blend tradition with personal touches. That is why, when it was opened, observers did not just see cars. They saw a life laid out in chrome and history. The royal family has always used vehicles as symbols. From gilded, horse-drawn carriages used in coronations to the sleek cars of today, transportation has carried meaning. For Camilla, stepping out of a car is never a casual moment. Every detail, from the make of the car to its color, sends a message. A Rolls-Royce Phantom may communicate timeless prestige during a state visit, while a Land Rover signals practicality and tradition when visiting rural communities. Even the choice to ride in a classic MGTD during the Caribbean tour was a deliberate decision that allowed her and Charles to appear approachable and light. The royal garage is maintained at the highest standards, with expert staff ensuring every engine purrs flawlessly and every surface shines. For Camilla, It is less about ownership and more about representation. The cars she uses become extensions of the monarchy itself. They remind the public that the royal family is rooted in tradition, but also capable of adapting to modern times. To open her garage is to see the machinery of monarchy, not just in steel and wheels, but in the carefully crafted image it projects to the world. Despite the grandeur of her public appearances, Camilla treasures the quieter corners of her life. Raymel House, her private estate, remains one of the few places where she can truly relax. Here, her garage does not hold armored limousines or ceremonial vehicles. Instead, it houses the cars she uses for countryside drives, visiting friends, or slipping away for a quiet outing without the glare of cameras. This separation between her public and private garages is symbolic of her life. One side is dedicated to the monarchy, with its rules, traditions, and formal expectations. The other side is about Camilla, the person, someone who loves animals, gardening, books, and simple country living. It is this balance that has helped her survive the intense pressures of royal life. For someone once viewed with skepticism, she has built a role that feels genuine. She is not trying to be dazzling or dramatic, but steady and relatable. This is what makes her garage so intriguing. It mirrors her ability to live in two worlds at once, the grand stage of royalty and the peaceful quiet of personal life. Camilla's garage and cars may tell part of her story, but another part lies in her relationships within the royal family. Her journey has not been easy. For years, she was seen as an outsider, especially in the shadow of Princess Diana. Public acceptance came slowly, built through consistent work and dedication. Within the family, she has also had to find her place. Rumors of a distant relationship with Catherine, Princess of Wales, continue to circulate, though no open conflict has ever been shown. Media often portrays this as a quiet competition. Catherine, symbolizing the modern, youthful face of the monarchy, while Camilla represents resilience, tradition, and stability. Beyond Catherine, Camilla has formed her own trusted circle. Her decision to appoint queen's companions instead of traditional ladies-in-waiting was not just practical, it was symbolic of her independence and modern approach. These companions, close friends she has known for years, offered loyalty and comfort in a way the formal role never could. This demonstrates how Camilla has reshaped royal tradition to suit her personality. Her influence now stretches beyond being King Charles's partner. She is an active shaper of the monarchy's image and decisions. The fascination with Camilla's garage shows that people are still eager to uncover hidden aspects of her life. What else might be behind those doors, or in other corners of her private world? While we now know about her connection to cars, both grand and simple, there may still be stories untold. Will she expand her influence in animal welfare, fashion, or even environmental causes? Will her relationship with younger royals evolve into closer teamwork, or remain a quiet rivalry? What we do know is that Camilla has surprised the world before. From her early days of criticism to her current position as Queen Consort, she has transformed perceptions in ways few thought possible. If her garage revealed anything, it was that her story is about more than appearances. It is about resilience, adaptation, and the ability to balance duty with personal authenticity. And perhaps the most speechless moment is yet to come, not from a garage full of cars, but from the future chapters of her legacy. The question is not just what we found in her garage, but what we may one day find in the ongoing journey of her life.